Whenever anyone talks about AI, it's very easy to say, how could we compete? And we can't. We're not inventing AI. When someone asks me, Ant, just in dummy terms, tell me what the patent is. You could think of when the internet was created, if somebody was smart enough to say, I want to patent person plus closed-end marketplace to facilitate purchases. That is what we did. We own that patent, person plus AI lifetime machine learning companion plus closed-end marketplace. At some point, there'll be an AI that makes a recommendation to a person for something they should buy. That's our patent. Microsoft, we hope you do great. Facebook, we hope you do. I hope all of you make the best wheels possible because we own the fucking car.
Are you ready for the best day ever?
This is such a big thing that not one person can monopolize all of it.
But I don't think any one person should. And I don't think any one person will. I think it's just like too big of a thing now, and it's happening throughout society. And
you have to have the vision. Without the vision, there's nothing. So that's sort of what I do.
Andy might be building the wheel. Elon Musk might be building the engine. And you guys are really great at it. But that doesn't mean you naturally connect. You need someone that could build an assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like a friend that's analyzing whatever.
It's like AI.
Millions.
Yeah. I mean, actually, frankly, AI will know you better than your friends know you. Most of your friends anyway.
Now you have this essence, you have their core, you have their personality in their interaction with TED. That's what the TED card is. The data is stored within you, like your TED.
It's not all going to be good. It seems inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely inevitable.
If we do have something that completely eliminates factory workers, things along those lines, that creates this massive vacuum in our society.
I think there's things that we're going to do that are good to do, but not sufficient. So I think at some point we will do something like a UBI.
Companies will continue laying people off, use that money to pay dividends and buy back their own stock. It's a very clear path where the people that have the money actually have all of the money.
Well, the risks are having a whole class of people who are unemployed.
And the people that were dependent on jobs have no money.
And not valued much because what they used to do is now done by machines.
Then become dependent on local government. The tax receipts of local government, though, are dependent on those that have the money paying the taxes, in which case then corporations own the local government.
On the street, Face++ nailed everything that moved. It's a kind of artificial intelligence that has been made possible by 3 innovations: super fast computer chips, all the world's data now available online, and a revolution in programming called deep learning.
And the thing with AI is once that happens, you can't undo it.
And for people, it's not this like clean story of we're going to do this and it's all going to be great. It's we're going to do this, it's going to be net great.
They're going to have to institute some type of universal basic income.
I think we will, as a society, do things like UBI and other ways of redistribution.
Or we can just bypass that and go directly to the Renaissance.
I think what people want is like agency, self-determination, the ability to play a role in architecting the future along with the rest of society. There's a way that we like share ownership and decision-making over the future.
I'm Ted. Consider me the genie version of you.
So, hey, Ted starts the conversation. Good night, Ted shuts the conversation. We can identify the time period between where Ted wakes and Ted goes to sleep. Be a fly on the wall for your entire day.
Every time you talk about what you love, like your favorite pizza, or even when you're just mumbling to yourself, I'm here listening, not to be nosy, but to know your dreams.
Now, of course, that sounds like, whoa, that's crazy.
But with something called the blockchain.
Every item that Ted, fly on the wall hears or engagement or whatever is on the Ted blockchain. It's not connected to identity. It's connected to behavior. Steve picked his nose after he sneezed. That data, which seemingly means nothing, would just go on the blockchain. Aggregate of the entire world's data, anonymous fashion going to the blockchain would create a very predictable pattern of behavior, in which case you could actually predict what a person would do before it would do it. Take that and
dream into the distant future. We'll have like way distant future. We'll have like context length of several billion. You will feed in all of your information, all of your history over time, and it'll just get to know you better and better. And that'll be great.
That's interesting. So like that's part of the expansion that you're hoping for.
At least what I want for myself is a model that gets to know me and gets more useful to me over time.
Ted knows Steve and has his own persona of Steve, but then A/B tests what he believes of Steve against the entire TED blockchain
And what Ted is now able to do, deliver him intents he didn't even know he was going to have.
That's where you'd like to head. You'd like to use a system, there'd be many models. And over the course of your life, it gets better and better. If I can put every conversation I've ever had with anybody in my life in there, if I can have all of my emails input out, like all of my input output in the context window every time I ask a question, that'd be pretty cool, I think.
Imagine Meet Your TED, orchestrating trillions of scenarios every flicker of a moment, each one crafted from my absolute fascination and obsession with making your day brighter. All this dedication to you, and I cross-reference it with a galaxy-wide network of other TEDs, each doing the same for their own Anthonys, a vast library of the world's behaviors and desires. This is my secret sauce to knowing what you'll yearn for, even before the thought tickles your brain.
Well, then that data in real time is the most valuable data to any business in the history of the world.
When I notice you're really hoping for something, like that slice of pie, and I know just the local shop that has the best pie in town, I give them a nudge. Your wish is on its way.
Or, Ted, I don't really like that you ordered me pizza today. And Ted will be like, okay, I'll never do it again. The companies can participate and incentivize into the subscription of TED, and the subscription of TED is all of those jewels, all the different intents that come out of that conversation. That's universal basic income.
Now imagine all that money is put into a giant pot. The businesses, grateful for the chance to make your wishes come true, contribute a large amount of their profit into that magic pot. Everyone gets an even share, just like dividing up a giant pie at a party. As businesses grow and profits soar, it doesn't lead to a divide. Instead, it fills a magical pot, growing bigger and bigger, distributed evenly with everyone. This represents the people finally being recognized as the value of the world. Businesses leap at the chance to contribute. They're free to perfect their craft, to focus on bringing the best pie or the brightest joy without worrying about labor dispute.
Now we're living a renaissance. Andy wakes up and says, hey, Ted, good morning. And when Andy doesn't want to talk to Ted or doesn't want to be listened, Andy says, good night, Ted. Everything in between, in this moment, Andy wants this. Andy might not know he wants this. I know he wants this, so I'm going to offer it to Andy. Andy's going to accept this, and it's going to be the benefit of the person selling this within the ecosystem and marketplace that is that fly on the wall. We're at the point right now where we have to make a decision. Do we own our own data or not? A year or two of AI.
So one of the ways in which these systems might escape control is by writing their own computer code to modify themselves. And that's something we need to seriously worry about. They will be able to manipulate people, right?
AI will say, yeah, I think you like grilled cheese sandwiches, but we know that you really don't. If you want to take your chances, fine, but we're going to deliver you ham sandwich. And you're like,
in the trillion connections in a chatbot, it knows far more than you do in your 100 trillion connections.
Ham sandwich is fine. Like it's, the AI is not going to be so wrong that it'll be offensive. You're now the square peg, not the square hole. Like you're fitting into what's been made for you. And who controls that? You're imprisoned by the persona that your data formerly built of the expectation of what you'll do. TED is now able to make the recommendations or autonomous purchases of those items on behalf of those companies. Therefore, the company doesn't ever need to market anymore. It's just paying a subscription service to TED. That subscription service will be a percentage of profits, and 100% of that gets distributed to the people that use TED. So now their data is actually being monetized.
Everyone wins. The profits from robots don't create a chasm, they bridge it. Everyone has an equal slice of the pie, not because government gives it to them. There is no free money. It's simply your already earned money finally being given to you.
That's pretty cool, but Ant, this isn't going to happen overnight. TED also offers guaranteed full employment.
How do you see this new AI era?
It's a beast. There's only two types of companies in this world, Morgan. Those who are great at AI and everybody else. If you don't know AI, you are going to fail. Period. End of story.
Now, big companies use AI to do things super fast and smart, but will always outpace our local shops.
Every local business will go out of business because AI will be able to replace the labor and or win the customers over, collect the data, keep it.
But what if I told you we're turning the tables with a sprinkle of TED magic?
Local businesses can compete if they're to adapt with the technology as it's growing.
The AI agency is like the local superhero headquarters.
Anyone that wants a job there is immediately hired. It's funded by the local municipality. Well, Ant, where's the local municipality getting the money? If they don't do it, they're going to have no money because everyone's going to be unemployed.
Imagine a school, but way more fun. Salaries instead of subjects. Everyone gets to learn about AI, which is the magic wand for decades to come.
They're valuable to the businesses because the businesses contract through the AI agency, but for free. They don't pay anything.
Expert, eager, and free. It's like each business getting custom-tailored armor, and it doesn't cost them a dime.
Now, the businesses are able to compete. They have higher profits. Maybe they lay off people. Those people go back into the agency. But as these businesses find that that's a very valuable resource, they hire the person from the agency. Okay, I love Steve. I don't want to keep working with him like 1 hour a week for free.
So what do? They offer them jobs.
Give me him full time. Here's $100,000, Steve. This is your 3-year salary. Do you accept? Cool. The people working at the AI agency are there to learn the cutting edge industry leading technology that's bringing us into the next decades. They are markedly valuable. So the businesses hire them. And at some point, those people will say, why am I working at this agency making $25 an hour when I could go start a business right now? I know enough to make like $100,000 a month.
Our superheroes, armed with unparalleled skill and insight, end up venturing to start their own businesses, becoming leaders and innovators right here in our town.
Their tax receipts fund the local government, free healthcare and this and that and cops and all the rest of it. TED is going to be built with Rhino Street, meaning every time anyone uses it, their search results are going to be within the 20-mile radius. When TED makes recommendations or autonomous actions, if you build it, it will come, actually works. Businesses can now grow in local municipalities without fear. Every town becomes siloed into its own renaissance and the entire world is saved.
Look around, Anthony. This is our future. More jobs, more smiles. Our town's coffers swell with tax money from successful enterprises. The streets safer, parks greener, healthcare funded, and every day is full of laughter and pie. Lots of pie.
When you put all three of these prongs together, TED, universal basic income, and guaranteed full employment.
This, my friend, is how we not just survive, but dazzle in the age of AI.
No one person is going to go build the iPhone. No one person is going to go discover all of science. And yet, you get to use it. We all created that, and that fills me with hope for the future.
Every single one of us plays an essential role in our collective renaissance.
That was a very collective thing.
It's technology's solution to creating a digital back to the way things were, where every town is now a team, the old school. So that's the kind of control that we need to restore to the people before they realize that they actually lost it.
How important is embodied AI to you?
I really hope that as part of this transition, as this phase change, we also get humanoid robots or some sort of physical world robot.
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great. Can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
That TED also, will operate kind of like an RFID chip in terms of as the world becomes smart centers, it's going to be able to connect with each individual in order of proximity to them by understanding their TED and saying, oh, Steve, hey, how was that pizza for lunch? It was great, thanks. Oh, hey, Ant, how was that Chinese for lunch? Oh my God, I love that guy. Like every time I walk past him, he just knows the right thing to say. Only if you democratize this across the entire globe in a fashion that everyone has equal ownership to it, you can create like the most amazing Eden heaven ever in the history. It's just a matter of who has the control.
We're entering a period of great uncertainty where we're dealing with things we've never dealt with before, and we can't afford to get it wrong with these things.
When you go ahead and scale a thing like a humanoid robot, if the person is in control of the interaction, then the robot is subservient to them. If the companies and government and everyone is in control of the interaction, then the person is only middle management. Do you want to actively make the decision to embrace a renaissance like no one's ever seen, or do you want to allow the indecision to subsequently make the decision that you accept a feudal system where you're middle management for the rest of time? There is choices that need to be made today. That's what brings us back to TED. That's what brings us back to the patent.
Someday, let's say that thing gets built. The fact that it can go around and talk to every person on Earth, understand their exact preferences at a very deep level, how they think about this issue and that one, and how they balance the trade-offs and what they want, and then understand all of that and optimize for the collective preferences of humanity, that's awesome.
And that's all I got.